Alright guys, well good morning and welcome to the kayak edition of the Mystery Tackle Box Slam today. So the challenge is going to be in 5 hours, it's 9 o'clock right now, in 5 hours to catch a fish on every lure that I have in here. Well guys, I gotta say, I like this river to sea spitting wah, and I like the color's perfect, but I don't know what the heck's going on. I fished this thing for like 45 minutes around some awesome grass areas, and like one of my first casts I got to blow up, and that was it. So I don't know if the frog is the deal out here. It looks amazing. I may have to switch up my strategy here. The Mystery Tackle Box came with mostly hard baits, with the exception of one package of, or two packages of plastics. The rest are essentially hard baits. So it may be a soft plastic bite, you know. We had a full moon last night. Fish were probably feeding up pretty good, and I think they're shut down right now. So I may have to just slow down with a soft plastic and see if I can get bit. The reaction bite, bite. Oh gosh, I just had one right there. Holy cow, I spoke too soon. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you're having trouble getting bit on reaction baits, your spinner baits, your crank baits, whatever, fishing soft plastics, downsizing your line a little bit is a really good way to go. And I've actually seen these in one of my mystery tackle boxes before, did really well on it, but I was putting it on a shaky head. This time, I'm gonna rig it in the middle, wacky style. And one of the cool things about these is that they have that little mesh fabric in the middle. So you can literally wacky rig it and you can get a lot of fish out of it. Look at that, baby bass color. Perfect for this water clarity that I've got out here. I'm downsizing to a spinning rod, guys. Do you know how devastating that is for me right now? I'm telling you right now. If you're fishing small lakes too, have a lot of grass in them, guaranteed money right here. So let's go get bit. Finally, the armor tube worm. Not a bad one. Come here. Yeah, you're just a little guy. There we go. Boy, that fish had it. Had it good. All right, fish number one. Only took me 2 hours. Well, it looks like there's a little rainstorm that's coming in. I can hear the thunder. So maybe before that storm gets here, they'll get active on a topwater or anything. Just trigger them to feed a little bit. Well guys, the slam had to be cut a little short today because the lightning was getting pretty bad and I wasn't going to stay out there much longer, so decided to come in. But I wanted to review the baits that I fished today. I fished every single one in the box before I got off the water, so I'll give you my opinion on them. So I started off with the big guy. This is the Skinny Bear Big Guy. It's a big profile spinner bait. You know, these are 2 half-ounce spinner baits. This one's got a bigger head, just a bigger profile. It's got a long hook on it. You can see the difference in those hooks. So you could put a big trailer on here if you wanted to. That's also going to help with short strikes. I was really hoping to get some bites slow rolling this in deep water. It looked like there was some fish kind of offshore down on some brush piles, and this would be what I would really focus on if I was going to fish this spinnerbait quite a bit. You know, I'd even go with a 3/4 and then slow roll it. It did come with some like mylar strips that were kind of out here, but it was getting in the way of my trailer. If you're going to put a trailer on this spinnerbait, I would recommend cutting those little mylar strips off because it was preventing my swim bait trailer from swimming. But good blades, good wire. You know, I like the big eyes on it. That's really good. Ran true in the water. Seems like a cool spinnerbait. Just didn't catch anything on it today. You know, I definitely recommend this spinnerbait if you're focusing on trying to get this through some brush piles or you know, fish a little bit deeper water. It's a good profile of a big shad. And another thing that's really good about it is the skirt. That's one thing I love about spinnerbaits like this that have the custom hand-tied skirt on there. That won't pull down. You know, that's one thing I really look for in a good spinnerbait. So good job, Skinny Bear, on that one. You know, next we had the Sabile bull crank. This crankbait has no rattles at all, but it actually cast really good for not having any rattles inside or like transfer system. You know, the weight on this crankbait is right here. It's interesting how it's right there on the front hook, but I guess that makes it just sit and dive. It dives really quick, gets like a sharp angle down, and it runs really true. I was actually trolling this in a kayak going really fast, and it wasn't coming up on me. I didn't have to tune this at all. It ran really true. Another thing that they do that's good is they put the oval split ring instead of the circle split ring. I always like that. And it's kind of got that wiggle wart profile, but you know, basically a medium wobble, I would say. And like I said, no rattle, so this will be good in a little bit clearer water. This is a good color right here, and I really thought I was going to get bit on some of those offshore fish today, trolling this thing around, but they just didn't want it. So, you know, I also got one of these Yozuri 3DS minnows. These are really good. When bass get to schooling and they're on small shad, I like to fish lures like this on spinning tackle and on medium action rod, and I like to twitch them around, you know, marinas, docks, floating tires, and anytime they're schooling and they're on little bitty bait fish, this thing's going to stay close to the surface. You jerk it down, and it stays really true, even though it's got this tiny lip. I was running it really fast and it wasn't kicking out on me. That's a big problem you have with little jerk baits like this, but it's a well-made jerk bait, and it's going to have good action at the surface for any kind of fish that are coming up and schooling. Premium hooks on this thing, good colors. Yeah, we're going to catch some fish on this in the summer on some schooling bass, and when they get to schooling on really small bait fish in the fall, this is going to be really good. Savage Gear Armor Tube Worm. Now this is what I caught one of my fish on today, and I knew I was going to. I mean, when you go to a pond or a small lake, you can always count on a Cinco style bait working really good. You know, the feature to this bait that's nice is you can wacky rig it like I was doing, and you can catch multiple fish on it without it tearing up. It's got a good weight to it. You know, it's good heaviness, which is what you want in a Cinco style bait. So it just kind of does that on the way down. Great color, baby bass right here, but you know, pretty self-explanatory. This is going to just catch them. You can Texas rig it, drop shot it, wacky rig it, twitch it on the surface, Carolina rig it, whatever you want to do. This is going to always catch fish, and they make a pretty good little Cinco style worm. So the Savage Gear Armor Tube Worm, it's good. All right, then we had the Lunker Hunt Core Strength. It's got a cool concept, you know, this holographic tape that's in there, but it just doesn't have any action, bless its heart. I mean, the only way to really get action out of this bait is to move it really fast and have a, you know, if you have a heavy weight on there where you can move it fast, you could do that. But if you are going to get bit on this, it's going to be a reaction bite, you know, punching through some grass, or, you know, basically going right by a fish really quick. Didn't catch anything on it, but Hey, I didn't catch much on any other baits either. All right, so the frog, I really like this frog. This was the Spittin' Wah by River to Sea, and it's got a really nice lip that's formed around the front of it with 2 holes in the bottom, so you get those bubbles when you chug it, and it spits really good and comes through the vegetation extremely well. That's one of the main things I look for in a frog, is how well it's going to come through really nasty stuff. That's the purpose of fishing a frog, right? So I kind of chop the tails a little bit. You know, usually when I'm fishing a popping frog, I like the lip because I can walk it a little bit better, and I will normally just cut the tails a little bit so I can get quicker walking action. This one actually really spits like a popar, and I had 4 bites on this, and they all just pushed it. Like, they didn't even open their mouth, they just pushed the bait. A couple of good bass, and I eventually caught one on it, but for some reason they just weren't biting well today. But I knew I was probably going to get some bites on this just around that shoreline vegetation. Great color. You know, I either usually fish black or like a pearl on my frogs, and it's really well constructed. Came through the vegetation well, and it's got a good line tie on there, no gaps in it at all. So good job, River to Sea, on this one. Really enjoyed fishing this frog, and I'm gonna catch some more fish on it. So that is basically it, guys, for the soggy box edition of the Mystery Tackle Box Pro unboxing and slash review, or whatever this was today. It started off as a slam, and then unfortunately I had to come in. I always enjoy getting my box in and then being able to go out on the water and fish. It's like a mini tournament for myself. It's kind of neat. Give myself a little challenge. Something I did notice a little bit different this month, your About the Box card is online. So you got a URL right there you can type in, and it'll bring up everything about your lures, give you the price descriptions, you know, what it's used for, and all of that stuff. So another good box, another good challenge. Got rained out, unfortunately, but thanks for coming with me today. I'll catch y'all later.